Welcome to Jewish Inspirational Stories. We're reading from the book Say Thank You and See Miracles by Rav Arush. Guarding the Soul. There was another instance when I made a condolence call to a young widow, and I went away consoled. Already by the fresh and yet uncovered grave, the widow departed from her husband by thanking Hashem. Those who attended the funeral shivered in awe of the young woman's Emunah and inner strength. Everyone would have understood her had she cried, including the heavenly chord. What could be more natural? Yet, there's a thin line between crying and bitterness. People with Emunah also cry when they feel pain. Yet, without Emunah, the tears of pain become tears of bitterness. Emunah eases the trauma. What impressed me even more during the week of mourning were the children. They surrounded their mother with love, while they were smiling and joyful. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I couldn't believe it. Upon seeing this beautiful phenomenon, I said to myself, imagine how differently the family would look if the mother was wailing and the children were sobbing, calling for their father. Imagine how the family would function if the mother were casting questions and accusations at Hashem. Children who hear accusing questions directed at Hashem become spiritually impaired for life. They are given legitimacy to pity themselves. Their chances of ever attaining Emunah are close to nil. How wonderful that the orphan have a mother with Emunah, who thanks Hashem constantly. This is a superb role model that Hashem has granted them. They don't feel unfortunate or pitiful by virtue of the mother's Emunah. The widow's Emunah strengthened all her family and friends. If she had broken down, they would have also. The deceased husband's brother, who was far from Emunah, was so impressed with his sister-in-law's faith, encouraged that he too began to learn about Emunah. Had his sister-in-law wail in grief all day long, he would never want to hear anything about the Creator or about Emunah. And he would have asked belligerently, "Is this the reward that my sister-in-law got for becoming a Baal Teshuvah, a newly observant Jew? Is this the reward that my dead brother got for doing Teshuvah and returning to Hashem, losing his wife, his family, and his children? Living her life with Emunah that everything is truly for the best, the widow not only overcomes the evil inclination, but serves as a shining example to everybody in her proximity. If she is happy and smiling, anybody can be happy and smiling. There are few tests of faith that are more difficult than becoming a young widow and a mother of orphans. She not only lost her best friend for life, she lost the other half of her soul. Nevertheless, we see how learning Emunah, especially by way of the Emunah books and CDs, changed the world for the better. When a widow can stand in front of her deceased husband's casket, thank Hashem, know full well that the days of Mashiach are arriving. If Emunah enables a young widow to cope so wonderfully and to continue with her life, imagine what it does in much less severe cases. Anybody who encounters problems, even small ones, with whining and complaining will certainly live in darkness and depression. With Emunah, though, a person is vibrant, no matter what. The way a person handles challenges affects his whole family. For example, two people can be in debt, yet one has Emunah and the other doesn't. The Emunah individual meets his challenges with lots of prayers and optimism. The other is full of stress and worry. Needless to say, the atmosphere of each of these two people's households is a direct result of the household head's Emunah. The one who meets his challenge with Emunah and creates an aura of positivity at home. The other one leaves his wife and children with worry and anxiety, and their home is purgatory. The Emunah husband and father saves so much needless stress and worry from his family and his wife and children. The worry doesn't pay off his debts, so who needs it? While he copes with Emunah, he seeks Hashem's assistance. His fortunate children don't even know that the problem exists. With the above in mind, our lives are basically a choice between Emunah and purgatory. Do we accept everything with joy and gratitude, or are we grouchy, worried, and complaining? Anyone who therefore does his or her best to implement the lessons of this book will taste paradise in this world. Not only that,
but they'll see miracles and salvations. Don't be discouraged, though. Gratitude is powerful, but so is negative spiritual force that tries to keep a person from Emunah and gratitude. Yet, our self-reinforcement in Emunah and gratitude is the greatest investment we can make, for it stays with us in this world and the next. It's worth the effort. We must be thankful for every little thing, taking nothing for granted. Nothing is too insignificant to thank Hashem for. If you take a good look, 1,000 years of continuous thanks is not enough to pay for our life and livelihood, our health, our families, and every tiny mitzvah and word of Torah that Hashem enables us to do, to learn and perform. We must express gratitude for everything we can think of. Gratitude must be an integral part of our very being, like each breath and heartbeat. Thanks, and we'll continue tomorrow.